Live from the city of Los Angeles. It's your boy, Duane Cofield. It is January 24th, 2023. I am your host of Drug Dealers to Businessmen podcast. This is the weekly tap in, and I'm tapping in. What's good, you guys? What is really good? Let me turn this up a little bit so that we're a little bit more intimate. Hope all is well with you. Fix my camera. Yeah, man. How's everybody been? Make sure if you're watching on the live that you tap in. Put your city where you repping from. And today's episode is always going to be fire. And the reason why it's going to be fire is because I showed up. And those are the gifts that God gives you when you do show up. So I encourage you guys, if you're wondering where your gifts are, man, they might be in the process of on the way to you if you show up to where you're supposed to be. But this episode is episode 10, season 4, action over everything. Action over everything. What does that mean? Well, we're going to talk about that. We're going to dig deep. We're going to talk about how sometimes our inaction we think is action, right? We try to supplement things that we're supposed to do with things that are convenient, right? So tap in, hold on, hold your horses, and let's get into it, right? For example, today, I always like to use my day as an example, when I first start off. So today, I was a little bit off because I didn't write my intention, and I was kind of like, man, I want to hurry up, get to the gym, but I need to write my intention out, and I didn't do it. But I still made it there nonetheless, right? Because one of the things about intention, even if the fact that you don't get to where you can put your intent, what's going on, Samuel? You can't set your intent for today. Get cracking, right? And hurry up. The only thing that I want to caution you on that part is that if you don't set your intentions, prepare for stuff, right? Prepare for things to happen. A couple of things happened at the gym. But I moved fast and I understood what was going on. So I was like, I'm cool. But I knew I needed to move. I knew I needed to get busy because if I didn't, the day was going to get away from me. And then that guilt is going to start to kick in. Resentment's going to start to kick in. My mood's going to change. And then it snowballs from there. It just keeps going. Right. So I knew like Mel Robbins, and shout out to my rally, Kevin, who doing this thing on the fitness tip. He has some I want to say Mel Robbins 5-second rule, where if you don't move within 5 seconds, your mind starts to talk you out of it, and that's the crazy part about it. So if you don't move on something, like take action and get busy immediately, your mind's going to logically start to talk you out of it and justify your inaction, right? Because a lot of times what happens is we think that by us not moving on something, by us not actually taking that step or that initial action, that we're going to actually feel better by not doing anything. That's what our mind convinces us of, right? That we're going to actually feel a lot better if we don't do shit. If we just sit here and not take action, right? We think about it, right? Because thought is something else. Because we can think about a lot of stuff. And it's powerful. Don't get me wrong. Do not underestimate the power of thought. But thought requires some action as well, because in between that thought and action is a belief. You're not sure what the result of that action is going to be. It's impossible to realize that. The one of the challenges is we oftentimes think that the outcome is going to be a negative, right? So why even try? Why even try? Right? That's our famous go-to. What for what? Right? That's the why for what, dog? Why should I try? The statistics say this. The last person that did it failed. Everybody in my family do this. I don't know how to do this. I don't know. I've never done this before. There's a ton of excuses for inaction, ton of them. And we lean on them religiously. Oh man, I can get to it tomorrow. And I tell my wife all the time, like, man, everybody acts like tomorrow is guaranteed and they know exactly how tomorrow is going to be laid out. You have no idea. You don't know if that opportunity is going to still be there looking the same way tomorrow. So why not take action today? You don't know if that thought, that feeling, that divine intervention that God is putting in front of you at this date and time, especially when you get the thought. If you get the thought, that means God's planting something. That means there's a garden about to pop. But oftentimes we like, oh, well, we come up with excuses because these are excuses are things that we've accumulated over the years, right? These crutches that we've just constantly accumulated over the years. What's going on, Tanisha? Appreciate that. And we just constantly lean on them whenever we need one, right? I remember I had to do this 25-page resume when I was in college, right? And one of the things that the guy, shout out to my professor, Dr. Newman, said was he was like, right, put bullet points of everything you did since you were a child, responsibility wise. And he said, this is a living document, and you just have to put bullet point, bullet point. It was intimidating at first, but it's gonna make sense in a minute. So when he was like, so when you graduate and you're looking at things, people are asking about, do you have experience here? You go to this 25-page resume and you pull things off of it in bullet point form so you can show that, yeah, I do have experience some kind of way doing something here. Right. And we use that same process for excuses, right? When there's a big challenge, what do? Our go-tos, right? Especially the things that we've used as a child. Them how do we avoid homework, right? All these things that we avoided as a child. We still lean on those same tools as an adult to prevent us, right? They protected us, right? We didn't have to do this. We didn't have to go this route. We didn't have to go out here and nah. But it was, and I think we realized it as child, some of us, that it was at those times, those are the times that we became who we were. When we were afraid to ride our bikes, when we were afraid of a bully, when we were afraid of doing this and doing that. That was the time of discovery. That was the time that we became men, is when we went out there and took action and said, F it. I'm going to try anyways. Why not? All I have is a try. Why haven't I tried yet? I remember me thinking that I couldn't get into grad school. And so I settled for this other school that I went to. And I ended up applying at that other one that I wanted to go to anyway and got it. I remember I went to these apartments when we first moved to LA. Didn't think I could get it, so I didn't even try. That's the thing, man. Just think how many opportunities we didn't even take advantage of because we didn't even try, because we talked ourselves out of it, because we said, nah, we can't, because we said, man, ain't nobody gonna help me. I don't have the money. Start looking for the money. You'll find it. Intention is everything, homie. Action is intention. And sometimes action has to take the place of intention. You just got to say, I'm going for it. I'm going to try. I'm going to put this in motion. Let me see what the universe provides. And the universe will respond back to you, right? Usually in a positive manner if your intentions are positive. But if your intentions are negative, then you got to deal with those repercussions. But we ain't even going there. We talking about activity, right? And that's what follows action, activity. It doesn't have to be a monumental, life-changing thing that you do on a day-to-day basis. That's heavy. And that requires a lot from you. But it's the little activities, whether you're looking something up on Google, whether you're reading an article, whether you're digging over here, going to check out something at the library. One place we try to stay away from, which we shouldn't, because all the answers to all of our problems are in the library, categorized. Dewey Decimal System, you dig? But we choose to avoid that. Why? Because that's work. Why do we avoid action? Action is work. And it risks embarrassment. Right? You might fail. Oh shit. Right? Oh my God. You might fail. And man, you realize that's part of the recipe to success, right? Failure is a requirement, right? It's a prerequisite. I'm on my college shit, right? School started again. It's a prerequisite. So you have to fail before you succeed, right? I thought about that. I was thinking about my son the other day, and I was like, where does he get the lessons in success? Because he goes and spars every Friday. And he took 2 L's, you know what I'm saying, this last Friday. But I remember him handing out L's. And I'm like, but where does he really grow? I said, he's not gonna grow winning all the time, because when you meet your adversary or you meet a challenge, it's gonna shock you. right? It's gonna be something that you were not completely prepared for. But if you learn to lose properly, you learn to take a hit, you learn that this is part of the process, that this isn't gonna kill me. Nothing's fatal. My decisions aren't fatal. And we have to understand that our decisions are not fatal. Oh, if I make this mistake, I'm done. No, you're not, right? Sometimes you can do things if your intention is wrong, but when you're usually going the right way, if it doesn't work out the first time, there's lessons all up in that. But the fact that you took action is a practice of yours. I remember when I graduated from college, I was going on interviews, practicing. I didn't even care after a while if I got the job or not. And you can't either. You just know I got to get cracking. I don't know if I'm good at the gym or not, but I'm taking action. I'm up in there. I'm going for the treadmill. I'm gonna watch this cat. I'm gonna look around and learn while I'm in here. You don't have to grab a train. I mean, it's cool and all, but you can learn just by observing, right? Taking action. Get out and walk. I'm sitting here and I'm watching TV. I know this ain't good for me. I know in the back of my mind that I'm sitting here all day long. Man, this ain't good for me. Get up, take action. Think about it on the way, right? Think about it on the way. Figure it out on the way. Will Smith's famous for that. He said that, man. He's like, man, half the stuff I did in Hollywood, I figured it out on the way. But he took action first because opportunity doesn't come knocking all the time. It doesn't. And a lot of times we'll sit there and look at him like, man, I ain't even dressed, right? When it comes to the door, it could come tap. Who is it? Opportunity. Man, I ain't even dressed yet, dog. All right, I'll be back. Right? That's what kind of stuff we be on half the time, right? We think opportunities is gonna keep coming. Oh, you gonna sit outside and wait for me? Opportunity, like, man, I'm going to the person who wants me. And you talking about you ain't dressed, you ain't got this, why you ain't ready? Why you didn't expect me to come? I told you I was coming. I told you. You didn't believe me, so you just sat there and chilled? What are you doing? You're supposed to be preparing yourself. You're supposed to already be ready for me. Here I come. Man, let's go. My shoes is right here. My bag is right here. You want some water before we leave? That's how I'm treating opportunity. Oh, word, you here? Okay, somebody called us for 200 pieces of chicken this week. We ready? Absolutely. Why? We already took action on it. We been there and we was like, man, let's just grab some. Why? We don't know what's gonna happen. And sure enough, and that's the thing. When opportunity is coming, you need to start preparing yourself and acting accordingly. How do you do that? Daily activities. Start to prepare yourself. We getting our corporate credit together. I'll do a whole thing on business credit and all that stuff because I did my Google research. I'm learning the steps and stages, and we knocking them down. Gas cards, the whole nine. Learning, taking action, putting them down in my goals. I told you guys we did goals on New Year's. Smacked them. Whoop, wrote them down. They starting to fall into place. Corporate credit numbers going up. Dun and Bradstreet. All that, none. So I'm getting reports from Expedia. We A1 over there, pay our bills on time. This is levels to this. But it all starts with action and activity. You have to put the intention in place first, what you actually want. We want to build our corporate credit. Well, the first thing you'll need is have your stuff set up. Are you LLC? Da, da, da. Okay, well, we got that done. Now we're going to get first tier credit. Then we get tier 2 credit. Then we get tier 3 credit. Then we start to get funding. That's what's up. Start to develop our revenue streams and put them on paper, right? A lot of time, black businesses are afraid of paper. We putting everything down. Ha ha ha. Right? Because I'm understanding the game at a different level now. Staying in school, taking action. Writing professors, can I get in on this? Da, 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 da. You gotta do, hey, you gotta do something. Let the universe know you serious, dog. If you sit there, it's gonna think, oh man, he or she gonna they don't want it bad enough. I'm not saying let it consume you or take over your entire life, but I'm saying you gotta get moving. You gotta quit talking, quit telling people. Let me get cracking. That's what I'm like, man, I ain't gonna keep telling nobody nothing. I'm gonna do this on a weekly basis, give the game, but I ain't talking in during the week. I'm gonna tell you what I've already done. That's it. Workout's done. I'm not gonna tell, oh man, I'm gonna go work out tomorrow. That workout was done today. Done. This is done tomorrow. Done. I gotta get low. I gotta get a new shirt for the tours. We about summer's coming up. Done. Taking action, right? Because this is how you build things. It's levels to this, but the action is everything. It's like a battery, right? Or like a hybrid. I get that's a better example. It's like a hybrid. The more you move, you got to get some gas in there, but the move, you producing electricity. But it doesn't happen without movement. Nothing happens without movement. You can't think your way into something. You can, but it requires you to get your ass up at some point in time and put something together. Exercise something. And I know sometimes we can get paralyzed when we sit there and we like, man, you know what? I ain't got it. I just can't move. You got to figure out something that is going to get you up though. And it just can start with one step. That's the main thing. Get out and walk and go get some fresh air and start talking to yourself. Right? Start talking yourself into things. Well, and you'll logically, it's almost like journaling, right? That's why they say journaling is so therapeutic, because you're basically talking to yourself, right? And giving the problems and talking about the solutions in the same breath. So it's not like you're just saying, oh man, here's all these issues. You're going through them logically. And when you go through them logically, produce the answers, you're also putting it on paper, which is powerful as well. Here's what I'm going to do about it. Here's what I foresee going to happen for me. Here's how I see the world. Here's what I predict's going to happen for me. And I promise you, man, it is unbelievably powerful. But I know what the problem is. You know, when you don't have like I don't have like I keep saying I don't have a gimmick. So it sounds like it's BS. Sounds like it might not work. And everybody's saying, well, you ain't I don't talk about what I have. It's because that's not what I'm about. I'm working on humility right now. So it almost looks like, damn, you just talking about it. Nah, man, actually, we've been in business for one of them 7 years, and the other one close to 8, and we still moving. And that's the beautiful part about it. On the low, I'm not in front pulling a puff where I'm trying to be the star. My mom runs one business. I happen to everybody thinks I'm the driver, which is fine. And then the chicken, that's my mom's too. Like, she the namesake, but my wife really quarterbacking all the other stuff. So I'm good. I'm learning, understanding the stages of business growth, understanding it doesn't happen overnight. Podcasting, we've been at this 5 years, right? We going on, I think this would be I think this is almost our 100th episode, if not our 100th episode. And that's crazy, right? Because what you're doing in the process, you're showing and proving to yourself that you can be consistent, that you can show up no matter who else shows up. That's a hard part. You showing up when nobody else is clapping, nobody else is even paying attention to your ass. But you showing up and delivering every time. And if people see your first broadcast versus this one, night and day, right? I'm improving. 5 years at this, getting better. Right? 5 years, I'm improving. Action. I took action. I did it with the little raggedy camera. Then I got a better one. Then I got a better mic. But I took action. I was like, all right, man, shit, I'm not getting ready to sit here. I'm about to figure it out. This is God giving me an opportunity. At the door, and I'm like, man, I'm already in the parking lot. As soon as opportunity pull up, like, what's happening? Let's get it. I'm ready for you. I know you. It looked like you in a bucket. I know it doesn't look like we going far, but I know who's who's driving it and powering this ship. I know, so I don't need that. All I need to do is get my ass in the car, and I figure out what the gas tank is on. See, that's the problem with a lot of cats. They need to know everything. I got to see so far in the future. Why you got to see so far in the future? Why can't you just be in the moment right now, recognize the gift that God's given you, right? Take action right now. What can you do right now? Want to look something up? All right, do it. Don't wait 5 seconds. If you wait 5 seconds, I keep telling you, your mind is going to talk you out of it. I'll just do it tomorrow. Oh, okay. Well, I'll do it when I get to work. That's a new one, right? That's our, I'll do, okay, I'll do it. No, 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 no. Right now. So even if you feeling something itchy on you right now where you feel like you got to make a move, man, get off this podcast and bounce and go get that done. All I'm like I said, I'm a conduit and a spark. That's it, right? You got the gas, you got the fuel. You and God got a relationship that you really not taking advantage of. I know, because I know the gifts that He giving. He won't stop. I promise you, He won't stop as long as you recognize it. Right? Sometimes we need to put our shades on, man, so we understand what because there's a lot of bright noise and stuff going on out there. Right? I never really thought about light pollution like that until you go somewhere where there's no light. Right? And sometimes we need to go somewhere where there's no light to really see what God's given us. Right? Because there's a lot of pollution out here. We don't know the gifts. We thinking all these things and material things are the real gifts. They're not. It's what we can do for others, right? It's what we can do for our family. It's those little moments that we shouldn't miss with our kids and our loved ones. It's those. That's what the gifts are. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's hard to compete with shiny things. It's really hard to compete with them. So don't do it. Right? Build, take action, understand what you need to do, what level you're trying to be at next year, and give yourself time. That's another thing. We're super impatient with our processes, right? We act like we're supposed to be fermented like that. Right? If we want to be seasoned, I mean, we can't be fermentation doesn't happen overnight, right? It's a lot of biological and chemical processes popping. So we have to be patient with processes, things that need to be put in place so that they stay permanent. But if we rush things, right? We constantly rush things because we're on man's time. It's not going to work. Right? We're going to always be in this anxious moment, right? This period of when can I get, man, just because you're going to once you make it because you're going to make it. Once you make it, you're gonna look back at these times like, damn, I should have cherished them a little bit more because those were real gifts. Those were the times that I really learned. Those were the times that I really loved because I didn't have shit. Right? I was struggling. So those are the times that I really, really dug deep into myself. Oftentimes it could be prison for somebody, it could be a divorce, it could be a death in a family. Those times make you dig deep. And you realize that I need to move. Shout out to my dad, RIP. That's why I moved the way I moved because he's watching me and I'm just looking at him. He's like, man, what you gonna do? Because that's all he would look at me like, man, well, what you gonna do? I'm like, well, I'm gonna go, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta move. And he was all about action, right? The way he walked, he was always in people. Oh man, dad always in a hurry. No, he always was going somewhere. When you see somebody just lollygagging, homie, you ain't got no focus. Where you walking, man? To and fro, homie. I got things to do. Even if I'm walking fast to go sit my ass down and chill. I'm on a mission to get my good seat, right? But that's how we're wired. Some people walk around and wander. Nomads. You know what I'm saying? That's not me in life. I'm 100% directional, but I'm intentional with everything around me, right? So family, business, spirituality, nature connection, education, reading. These are all things that are on my list that keep me full. Because sometimes when you got to have a few cups going. Because some of them may get a little empty, and everybody ain't got the ability to fill your cup up. Right? Some people come thinking they filling your cup up, and they pouring coffee in your shit. And I'm like, man, I drink water. Right? So you got to be careful. Their intentions are okay. Right? Their intentions are fine. What they're trying to do is give you something because they know you're thirsty. They just may not have what you're looking for. So you got to know what you do and what you don't do, right? In your cups. Okay, this is empty. This one's getting, I need to go connect with nature. I need to go on a spiritual walk. I need to go forest bathe. I need to go exercise. I need, I'm feeling kind of anxious. Okay, well, that you know what cups you need to fill up. And I don't like trying to do it with teams, and that's difficult. So you got to know, even when you take an action, teams, that's a tough one because you're dependent upon their energy, whether you move or not. I can't wait on somebody else's energy, dog. I don't know how you feeling. I know how I'm feeling. I don't know whether you make ready to make that move or not. I'm ready to take it. I'm ready to start this. Some people like slow down. Wait for me. Man. And sometimes you do, right? You slow down, especially if they see you about to crash. You take advice. It's the one thing I've learned over time. Take advice, but don't take a seat. Somebody telling you slow down, will switch lanes, right? Because my engine is my engine, homie. If I'm a vet or a Ferrari, you tell me like go Prius speed. I'm like, man, I'm gonna go my speed. I just may go somewhere else real quick. I may dip up to Malibu, go up there, get some exploration, and fly back down here. But what I'm not trying to do is slow down. Because when I slow down and my start to convert my engine into a Prius, that ain't me. I'm not wired that way. I'm one of them. Let's go, homie. 454, pop the wheelie. And some people don't move at that speed. Don't tell me to slow down. Tell me to reroute. To go on a detour for a minute, man. Let me try to get my engine together. I'll meet you at the 405. No problem, man. I'll go dip up the Malibu. I wanted to go up there anyway. It's gonna take me 5 minutes. Just make sure you on that 405 because I move fast, homie. And that's kind of what you would owe somebody. Outside of that, catch up, dog. That's where I'm at. Or I will, because I'm damn sure not gonna ask anybody to slow down. I ain't gonna ask you. Why I ask you what I look like? Hey man, slow down so I can catch up. And no, keep going. I got you. I'm gonna get my pace up. I remember I got outwalked by this lady at we was at, I think I told you guys about this, but we were at where were we? Black Beverly Hills. Anyways, there were it's like Ladera Heights, anyway. But there's a track there. She was just bailing, 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 and she just lapped me. And I kind of took it personal, but I'm like, she's making me faster. I'm not going to, hey, you know what? You need to slow down. You're embarrassing me. That's kind of what we look like when we tell somebody slow down and they moving and they taking action. Man, hold on, hold on. Or you get resentment because of their lack of action, right? They start to resent you because you're moving. Oh man. In it little snide marks, you still doing your little school thing, you still doing your everything got a little you gotta know, yeah, you little, are you still doing your little food? You still doing your little tours? Are you still got that, you still selling little hair? Yeah, all of it's little, dog. All of it. I'm cool with that. Whatever makes you comfortable. That's what I've come to terms in life. Whatever makes you comfortable, homie. Tell whatever story you want to tell. I got cats telling stories, and I'm like, man, but you leaving out. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Tell whatever story you go ahead, homie. Yeah, yes, right? Because it doesn't really matter. I'm trying to, if that's what makes you happy, man, you should pour a cup of it, put some ice in it, and drink it forever. Because I can't use somebody else as a crutch in order to lift me up, homie. I don't need it. I don't need to tell a story like that. I don't need it. I'm good. I don't even tell my own damn stories. So I'm not getting ready to start telling other people's, right? Come on now. I'm busy. I got stuff to do. I need to go edit this. I need to do X, Y, Z. And there's action items all over the place, and make sure you have plenty of them so that you can take action when you're feeling low. Because sometimes that's the thing that'll lift you out of your funk. It's getting busy. And the universe been trying to push your ass up out the house Go do something. Challenge yourself and do something different to show the universe, hey man, I'm willing to move on something. Go look at business. I remember I used to come to LA just to go look at stuff. People try, oh man, you tripping. Man, tell you what, you can tell that story to wherever I was last, but I'm here now. And that's the thing. Without taking action, without moving and taking a step in faith, that's the thing. Take a step, a leap of faith. That's what I did. That's what worked for me. Some people, man, you think you're gonna fall and your parachute ain't gonna open, and damn sure ain't gonna open. So you got to think yourself through some stuff first. Believe it, 100%. 50 Cent, you watch his story, amazing story. He believed it the entire time. Kanye, the entire time. And they were constantly taking action. That's the one thing you see with all of them. They were constantly taking a step, making a move, moving to New York, moving to LA. I'm trying it. Shit. Or I'm a fail. What else am I got? What else is there to do? What else? Somebody give me a better option. Oh, okay. So the better thing to do than fail is just chill. Yeah, we just gonna chill, man. Just chill so that you don't fail. Chill so that you don't fail. Yeah, look cool for years, but don't make no movements. You look good. Yeah, man, as long as I'm maintaining, long as I'm doing better than them. Whoa, right? Long as I'm doing better than them, right? So I keep the mud around me, man, because it don't make my dingy ass look that bad. Ooh, right? I start hanging around the elite, it's gonna make me either get elite or get gone. Period. So if I can't hang around elite, sometimes you got to get alone and get comfortable with yourself, right? Because most of the action that you're gonna take, you're gonna do it alone. It's not gonna be any rah, rah, rah. It's not gonna be none of that shit. It's gonna be you're gonna be by yourself, scared. You take the L, you could tell people, you keep it to yourself if you take the L. But if you win, that's on some lottery shit, right? I ain't gonna play nobody wins. Well, that's a guarantee that's gonna happen to you. You're not gonna win. Ah, nobody wins. Somebody wins. You know what I'm saying? Somebody wins in life, period, too. It's usually that person to take action, right? Girls, I remember back in the day, the cat. I told my son, I said, man, you like this? Oh yeah, I like the girl, but you didn't take action when she was in front of your face. We freeze up, right? And then they end up going with Bozo homie because he took action. And a lot of times they respect that, right? Oh man, he made a move. Oh, while you were standing there, she actually liked you more, but he was like, "What's cracking?" Same thing, right? Business wise, this cat succeeding, raising canes is nothing special. And I'm not hating on raising canes, but that cat took action. He got chicken fingers popping, and they popping up all over the place. Popeye's Chicken, Taco Bell, Del Taco, all these cats took action. They went and learned when McDonald's was handing out seminars, come flossing all his systems. These cats was taking notes. I'm about to go build my own. But they went up there, right? Just asked a question, sent the email. Not back then, you know what I'm saying? But let me call somebody. Hey, I'm already at no. All I could get is where I currently am. That's the worst that can happen to me. The best that can happen to me is I'm up. Is that it actually works. That thing that people actually will continue to buy from you. That the product is selling, that your service is popping, that your whatever it is that you're going after actually is doing something because you took action. I don't know what my kids are going to do with these businesses, but that one thing that they're going to know is Pops took action. He made a move on this stuff. and believed in it and kept it going. Now we got it here. We in base downtown. You don't know what's gonna happen. It might be 2, 3 generations for me. But they gonna know somebody took action, taking it back to that word legacy, right? We always talk about. But somebody did something. Somebody got something going. Somebody did the LLC. Somebody did the S Corp. Somebody tried this. Somebody brewed up some hot sauce and put our last name on that shit. Now it's Tabasco, right? Because that's all it takes. Somebody to do something. You watch all them Food to Build America, Toys that Built America. Somebody took some type of action, drew something, got a prototype, built it, ran into, all these serendipitous things starts happening afterwards, right? You just get these random run-ins. That's how this stuff works. That's why you always gotta be on. You'll never know what's gonna happen. You don't know who's gonna run across your stuff. That's why you gotta stay ready, right? How you stay ready. Taking action the entire time. Told you guys the story at the beginning of this episode about how we got to this point. And we just steady, slowly, but just trenching along. But we're taking action every Monday. Well, we on Tuesday today, but every Monday. And it's oftentimes you feel like, man, I, man, I got something better. Let me just sit down back, watch the game. I deserve it. Nah, 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 nah. Not when you got that itch. Not when you got that itch, man. Because that itch may get you to that front seat of that actual Laker game, the front row. That's real. So sometimes you need to scratch that itch. Like I said, if it gets to the point to where you feel like it's itch on this podcast, man, go scratch it. That's God nudging you. Don't ignore God's nudges. He's busy. He ain't nudging you that often, right? And then when he does nudge you, he's trying to tell you something. Hey, there's gifts in here. Make a move. Show me that you believe in me because I believe in you. But the way you believe in me is that you go take that leap of faith, believing in yourself, knowing I got you. If anything goes left or right, I got you. He's the real big homie with better advice than these clowns on the streets. Trust me on that. Cats can barely read. Talking about big homie, right? I ain't no shot. I'm just saying. Listen to the real one, the real big homie, because that's the one who's got you no matter what, unconditional. So go out there and not make a mistake to where you get into any type of financial trouble or any type of thing like that, or any type of criminal trouble. But you have to try something. Doesn't matter if you're baking cookies. I don't care if you're making elote. Get a cart, hot dogs, something. I'm telling you, no. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. Because I keep seeing that. And I look at the cannabis industry. Them fools kept trying on the low. They was taking action. We still growing. And the law changed. Bing. Opportunity. You ready? Psst. Born ready. You dig? That's how I'm coming. Born ready. Partner. Let's go. I'm in the car before you can get in. Let's ride, dog. So get to it. Be specific about it. You know what I'm saying? You know what you don't know, so go learn it. There's a library close, and if there isn't, Los Angeles County Library is amazing with their ebook systems, right? All you need is a cell phone number to get a card. You rent it out. You get MP3s, audiobooks, the whole nine. There's no excuse right now. You can learn anything, literally. So why aren't we? Why aren't we taking action? Why aren't we YouTubing it? Something better to do? I don't think so. This could be your ticket out of whatever world you're living in right now. All you got to do is make a move. That's it. And the universe is waiting on you to do so. So I challenge you. I challenge my audience. As soon as this is over with, as soon as you listening to this voice, just listen. Opportunities in your neighborhood, knocking on doors. Most people ain't answering because they doing comfortable shit. Let's see if you get out there and get cracking. I'll be back next week, and I want to see who took action on something and what your results are. That will conclude our weekly tap in for this week. I don't have a book to read. I'm still reading the same ones right now. I'm actually reading more textbooks and also academic papers. So I've been taking a hiatus on that. So that's my book recommendation right now. Good. I'm glad you're on YouTube. That's what's up. Um, but yeah, other than that, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. If you haven't left us a review, please leave us a review, man. Do your boy a favor. That is what I'm asking for from y'all. Leave your partner a review on iTunes, man. It helps us rank because they want to know if we're actually legitimate or not. So make sure you guys leave your boy a review. Other than that, I'm tapping out.